Hey, this is Warhammer Sean. This is part 2 of the review for, Codex Dark Angels. We're going to go into the headquarters section this time, and we'll get started on it right now. So, our first HQ for the Dark Angels is Belial. He's 190 points, and he is Weapon Skill 6, Ballistic Skill 5, Strength 4, Toughness 4, Weapon Skill 3. I'm sorry, guys. Weapon Skill 6, Ballistic Skill 5, Strength 4, Toughness 4, Wounds 3, Initiative 5, Attacks 4, Leadership 10, and a 2+ save. So he's got Terminator armor, and he's got an Iron Halo, and a Stormbolter, and a Teleport Homer. His Warlord trait is the Hunt, which is... basically, your Warlord has precision shots. In addition, he ignores cover special rule. I think that's a really crappy Warlord trait for him. and why I do it, he's also got special rules, Deathwing, Grim Resolve, Independent Character. The reason I think it's kind of not so great is that he does have the Stormbolter and the Sword of Silence, which is Strength of the User, which is 4, AP 3, Mastercrafted, Fleshbane, Melee. So it's AP 3, but it's Fleshbane, so it's going to wound anything on 2s, even Gargantuan creatures tonight. This is AP 3. But a lot of people are probably going to replace the Sword of Silence and with either, well, probably not 2 Lightning Claws, but probably the Thunder Hammer and Storm Shield. Well, either option, the two Lightning Claws or the Thunder Hammer and Storm Shield, his Warlord trait is completely useless because he's got no guns to fire. And even a Stormbolter is a 2-shot gun that ignores cover. Whoop-de-doo, you know? Like, I don't know why they get... I think he could have had a better one, like something that instilled... I don't know. Something better than this. Maybe something to help his charge run or something. Now, the Marked for Retribution is another special rule he has. And Belial rerolls all fail to hit rolls when fighting in a challenge. That's pretty good. Belial and his unit do not scatter when arriving via Deep Strike. He did that before. The drawback, and we'll see it, is that basically the Deathwing can't come in first turn no matter what anymore, so it really kind of screws. If you just wanted to play Deathwing, you pretty much can't anymore because you'll auto lose. Next one is Samael, 200 points. You can either have him on his jet bike or on Sable Claw, which is the land speeder version. They're both 200 points. Let's talk about him on the bike first. He is Weapon Skill 6, Ballistic Skill 5, Strength 4, Toughness 5, Wounds 3, Initiative 5, Attacks 3, Leadership 10, and a 3+ save. He has an Iron Halo, so he has a 4+ invulnerable save. He has a Bolt Pistol, a Plasma Cannon, Twin Link Stormbolter, Frag Grenades, Crack Grenades, Iron Halo, Teleport Homer. He has Rapid Maneuver as a Warlord trait, and I'm pretty sure, but I'm just going to check. Yeah, that's the one that you get to add 3 inches to the maximum distance that you flat out Turbo Boost, run, or make charges. So that's good. He's got Eternal Warrior, Fearless, Grim Resolve, Hatred, Chaos Space Marines, Hit and Run, Independent Character, Raven Wing, Special Rules, Scout, and Skilled Rider. Samael has Swift Vengeance. Samael can fire up to 2 ranged weapons in the shooting phase. So he can fire both the Plasma Cannon and the Twin Link Stormbolter. That's good. He has a Raven Sword. It's a relic. It's a Strength of the User, so Strength 4. AP 2 Mastercrafted melee weapon. Now he's got 3 attacks, and he's Initiative 5. So he's going Initiative 5, faster than most people, and it's AP 2, and it's an Initiative. And it's Mastercrafted, so you get to reroll 1 to hit. 200 points. He's a little pricey, but man, I think he's actually a really good HQ, and he allows you to take the Deathwing formation because, as we'll see later on, you have to have someone that has the the Raven Wing special rule to be included as an HQ, and they have up to 3 HQs, but unfortunately, Samael is the only one that has that special rule. So I think it was a little bit of a mistake, but it's the way it is right now. Sableclaw is ballistic skill 5, and so same ballistic skill, but he's front armor 14, side armor 14, rear armor 10, 2 hull points, land speeder. It has a twin-linked assault cannon and a twin-linked heavy bolter and an iron halo. It's got a 4 invulnerable save, and rapid maneuver is the warlord trait, which is the same as his bike form. He's got skilled rider, scout, raven wing, grim resolve, and deep strike. He's got a raven sword. At the end of the movement phase, nominate one enemy unit not locked in combat that this model has flown or moved over. It takes D3 plus 1 hits, resolved at strength 4 AP2. Using random allocation, these hits have the ignore cover special rule, but do not benefit from any of the model's other special rules against vehicles. These hits are resolved against the target's rear armor. I mean, it's interesting, and it's an interesting set of rules, but honestly, like, I just don't see it. He's only got 2 hull points. He's going to get taken out. He's got rear armor 10. I just don't, and he can't join units because he's a vehicle, so I just don't see the Sableclaw really being as useful. I think him on the jet bike is so much better for the same points. Why wouldn't you? The next HQ is the Interrogator Chaplain. He's 110 points. He's got weapon skill and ballistic skill of 5, strength and toughness 4, 3 wounds, initiative 5, 3 attacks, leadership 10, 3 up save. He has a bolt pistol, a Crozius Arcanum, frag grenades, crack grenades, and a Rosaria, so that's going to give him a 4 up invuln. His special rules are Deathwing, Fear, Grim Resolve, Independent Character, Preferred Enemy, Chaos Space Marines, and Zealot. Zealot's an awesome special rule. Really, I mean, it really is. I think it came about in 6th edition, but it's really cool because it basically gives you hatred and fearless without really saying that. He may take items from the melee weapons, range weapons, special issue war gear, and relics of Caliban. He may take a power fist for 25 points. He may take a bike for 20 points. If neither power fist or space marine bike is taken, Interrogator Chaplain may replace his bolt pistol, frag grenade, crack grenades with Terminator armor and a storm bolter for 30 points. And an Interrogator Chaplain and Terminator armor may take items from the Terminator weapons, special issue war gear, and relics of Caliban. An Interrogator Chaplain and Terminator armor may replace his storm bolter with a combi flamer, melta, or plasma for 5 points. I don't see him being used that much as Terminators because I just don't see them being used as much, but I do see him potentially being on foot or most likely more on bike. Although the new model for the Interrogator Chaplain is really kick-ass, I just don't see him being run on foot that much. But I will show you a picture of, oops, can I get it? It's pretty badass, I'm not going to lie. It's a cool model. It's like one of those, like sometimes you see models, and even if you don't play the game or play the army, you want that model just to paint it or to have it if you're a painter. I just think this model's pretty cool. Like, I'd have it even if I didn't play Dark Angels. So 110 points. You're probably going to pimp him out a little bit. Probably give him a power fist and a bike maybe so that'd be 45 points more. But still at that, he's 155 points for a 3 wound. He'd be toughness 5 at that point because he'd be on a bike. He's and with Zealot, that's pretty good. It's a pretty good HQ, honestly. As Modi is a Master Interrogator Chaplain. He's 140 points. He has the bolt pistol, Crozius Arcanum, frag grenades, crack grenades, Rosarius. His warlord trait is the Hunt. I really wish to kind of put these closer together. It depends. There's pros and cons. The old way they did the Codex and the new way they do the Codex. But I do kind of miss the old Codex. I think it was a little easier to use, but maybe I'm just old and got used to using it. that easier. But his is the Hunt. Sorry, that's the same as Belial. So he has precision shot special rule. In addition to Warlord's shooting attacks have ignores cover special rule. Here they go again. They give that to someone that has a bolt pistol. Whoop-de-doo. Master of Repentance. If Asmodeus slays the enemy warlord in a challenge, you immediately score D3 extra victory points. Cool. He's Deathwing, special rules, Fear, Grim Resolve, independent character, preferred enemies, Chaos Space Marine, Zealot. Blade of Reason. His strength of the user, AP dash, instant death, specialist weapon. So here's the bad thing about that. I guess you could choose to use your Crozius Arcanum because it's instant death, great, but it has no AP. So most things you're fighting that are nasty are probably going to have a decent armor save. And it's specialist weapon, so that means you only get your base attacks of 3. Versus if you use a bolt pistol and Crozius Arcanum, you get 4 attacks base. I don't know, his Blades of Reason just don't seem that great to me. He's a cool named character that's been around for a while, even since like 2nd edition when they came out with the Angels Codex that had Dark Angels and Blood Angels in it. But honestly, I don't think he's that great for his points. Sorry, Asmodee. The Librarian is the next HQ. He's 65 points. And he has a bolt pistol, force weapon, frag, crack grenade, psychic hood. He's got weapon skill 5, ballistic skill 4, strength toughness 4, 2 wounds, initiative 4, 2 attacks, leadership 10, 3 plus save. He has the special rules of Deathwing, Grim Resolve, independent character, and Psyker Mastery level 1. However, you can make him Psyker Mastery level 2 for 25 points. Like almost any Psyker in the game, it's 25 points per level. At least they're consistent with that. Seems pretty fair. He can take powers from Demonology, Divination, and Pyromancy, Telekinesis, and Telepathy. You know, and Pyromancy is pretty good. There's some debate with Demonology. I know in the Space Marines Codex, it says Demonology in the hard book like I have, but I know in the iPad version it says Demonology Sanctic. So I'm guessing they're going to fact it for both codices to have Sanctic, which they really should, because honestly, Imperial Space Marine chapter should not be using malefic powers. That's heresy. So, the Grey Knights or the Sisters might be visiting you if you use those things. Anyway, he can take basically all the special war gear. He actually can be upgraded to have a Terminator armor for 25 points. He can have a bike for 20 points. And you can get... the Terminator armor guy can have Stormbolter, a Combi Flamer, Melta, or Plasma for 10 points. I think you're going to see the Librarians, if they're with Terminators, potentially in Terminator armor, or potentially in Terminator armor if you're going to use Green Wing, where you're going to just drop pod a bunch of guys. Although, honestly, I think Space Marines do it better in the current Codex. You will maybe see it. I do think that most of the time, if you see Dark Angels, you're going to see more Raven Wing, or at least mainly Raven Wing, because they're so good this edition. So you're probably going to be on bikes most of the time. Ezekiel is the Grand Master of Librarians, and he is weapons. He's 145 points. Sorry, the last one was 65. His weapon skill is 5. Ballistic skill is 5. Strength and toughness 4. 3 wounds. So he's got 1 more wound than normal Librarians. Initiative 5. Sorry. It's really rude, sorry. Attacks 3. Leadership 10. 2 plus saves. So he's basically got relic armor. He's got Psychic Hood, Mastercrafted Force Sword. So you get to reroll 1 to hit in close combat. He's also got a Mastercrafted Bolt Pistol, so he gets to reroll that to hit. And he has Frag Grenades, Crack Grenades, and Psychic Hood. Courage of the First Legion, 148. So your warlord and all friendly units within a Dark Angels mission within 12 inches of him have the Fearless special rule. That's pretty good. He's a Mastery level 3. That's pretty good. He's got Grim Resolve, Deathwing, independent character. And he can generate powers from Demonology, Divination, Terramancy, Pyromancy, Telekinesis, and Telepathy. Relics of Caliban is a Book of Salvation. All friendly models with the Dark Angels faction within 6 inches of Ezekiel at the start of the fight subphase have +1 attacks until the end of the phase. That's pretty good. I mean, he's not so great as far as, he's got an 8th P3 weapon, but it's a Force Sword, which is good, and it's Master Crafted. But he's going to help buff the guys that he's in close combat with. He doesn't have a invulnerable save, so be careful with him there. The question is, and I apologize, I don't have my rule book right in front of me, but if you have a Mastercrafted weapon, close combat and shooting, in the close combat you get to roll 1 to hit, but if you have 2 Mastercrafted weapons and you can use both, you get to re-roll 2 to hit rolls. I'm guessing you probably would. I don't have the book right in front of me, so correct me if I'm wrong. You can write down here and say, hey, wrong. I'll check it out afterwards too, and probably in the next video put something up about it if I screwed up. But he's decent for 145 points. Now, our next one is the Company Master, and he's 90 points, and he has Weapon Skill 6, Ballistic Skill 5, Strength and Toughness 4, Wounds 3, Initiative 5, Attacks 3, Leadership 10, and a 3+ save. Now, he has a Bolt Pistol, Chainsword, Frag Grenades, Crack Grenades, Iron Halo, so he's got a 4-up invuln. He has Deathwing, Grim Resolve, independent character special rules. He replaces Chainsword with a Relic Blade for 25 points. I don't know why you would honestly do that. It's AP3. May take a Storm Shield for 15 points. May take Artificer Armor for 20 points. You may take Terminator Armor for 30 points. And the Terminator guy can get a Relic Blade for 10 points versus his Power Sword. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you're going to see him as much. He can take Special Issue War Gear, Relics of Caliban, melee weapons, ranged weapons. If you want a cheap HQ, or cheaper HQ, you could do it. But honestly, here's my thinking. And you take this with a grain of salt. But honestly, if I am going to run somebody that's not a main HQ, I'm probably going to run either an Interrogator Chaplain, because he's got, sorry, I'm flipping again, he's got 3 wounds, or if I want to take a cheap one, take a 90-point Chaplain, which is our next HQ, and he's got Zealot special rule, which is pretty good. Or take a Librarian, for God's sakes, and for 65 points, put him on a bike. Honestly, I think they're all better than the Company Master, to be honest. Now, you can feel free to disagree with me. I personally like Samael a lot, too. I think he's good for an HQ. But you can certainly take a Company Master, too. I just don't, I think for his points and for what he does, I think, honestly, if you're really going for a buffed up beefcake guy that's survivable, honestly, I think with Space Marines you're better off, because you've got the Shield Eternal, which gives him Eternal Warrior and all that jazz. You can buy the relic in here that gives him Feel No Pain, but honestly, you can buy that for anybody, and I'd almost rather have an Interrogator Chaplain. I mean, for the most part, let's see. I mean, his weapon skills 5 versus 6 for the Company Master, but otherwise, he has the exact same stats, and he's got Zealot. I mean, and he's got Preferred Enemy Chaos Space Marines, and the Company Master doesn't have Preferred Enemy Chaos Space Marines. It's kind of weird. You'd think they would. because they all seem to. No, I guess the regular chaplain doesn't have that either. And the interior chaplain causes fear, and the company master doesn't. I mean, honestly, to be honest, I would rather take an interior chaplain. My thoughts. Um, Now, the company master's 90 points. The carrier chaplain is 110, so he's 20 points more. But 20 points for preferred enemy or for zealot might be worth it. Our next HQ is a chaplain, and he has weapon skill 5, ballistic skill 4, strength and toughness 4, 2 wounds, initiative 4, 2 attacks, leadership 10, save 3+. He's got the Crozius Arcanum, Rosarius, Frag Crack Grenades, and Bolt Pistol. He's got Grim Resolve, Independent Character, and Zealot. He may take items from melee weapons, ranged weapons, special issue war gear. He may take a Space Marine bike for 20 points. Honestly, again, this guy's cheap, and he's got Zealot, so he's pretty good. All right. The next HQ is a Tech Marine. He's 65 points. He is weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 5, strength toughness 4, 2 wounds. He's got initiative 4, 2 attacks, base, leadership 9, 2+ save, because he's got relic armor. He has a bolt pistol, power axe, and frag crack grenades and a servo arm. The Tech Marine has a no show, no now fear, grim resolve, and independent character. Whoa, that is really interesting. Well, I guess potentially Deathwing. Sorry, I'm just looking back here. Deathwing, Crozius Arcanum. So, I guess the rest of them don't. Yeah, because of. Yeah, I guess. Sorry, I apologize for earlier saying because Deathwing has Fearless and Hatred, Chaos Space Marine, so the Company Master does come with that. I was just looking back and going, holy cow, nobody has, and they shall know no fear except for the Tech Marine. But I just realized that they all have Deathwing or Zealot, which makes them fearless, so they don't need it. So the Tech Marine has that, so he's not fearless. Grim Resolve, independent character. He has Blessing of the Own Messiah in each of your shooting phases. Instead of firing a weapon, a Tech Marine can choose to repair a single vehicle, just like any Tech Marine. He's got bolster defenses, just like any Tech Marine. You can take servitors, and that's basically the servitors are 10 points each, and they come with a servo arm. 2 servitors can take a heavy bolter and place their servo arm or multi-melter and plasma cannon. 10 points for the multi-melter and heavy bolter, and 20 points for the plasma cannon. Honestly, I think your points are better off spent somewhere else if you're going to put a plasma cannon on something that's ballistic skill 3, weapon skill 3, strength and toughness 3, wounds 1, initiative 3, and 1 attack on 4+ save, leadership 8, and it has mind lock. So if it's not near a Tech Marine, on a 4+, he's fine, but a 1, 2, or 3, he's a dumbass and sits around. So I don't know. And Tech Marines, I think, have their place in the Space Marine Codex. You can put these Space Marines on a bike for 20 points, and you can replace the servo arm with a servo harness for 25 points. Now, the servo harness, I think has. Let me just check. I think that has the. Has a plasma cutter on it that has strength 7, AP 2, 12-inch range, Salt 1 gets hot, twin linked. So that's good. The servo arm is like a strength. I think it's a strength 10 weapon. It's pretty good. I just don't see these guys being taken that often, but potentially. That's all of the HQs that we have for the Dark Angels. I think it's pretty good, actually. You're wondering what happened to Azrael. He's in the Lord of War slot, so he's coming up later. Next, we'll do the troop section, and we'll be back very soon. Until then, keep on wargaming. See you guys later.
Goodbye. 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 Bye-bye. Goodbye. See ya. Bye for now. Bye for now. Goodbye. I like bottoms.